Today is December 25th, 2020. It's been a rough year for everyone, and something woke me up this morning. And I'm not having the greatest year ever, just like a lot of people. And my son, he's in Pennsylvania with his grandparents for this Christmas. So I woke up this morning, so let me jump on the computer and finish uploading my OnlyFans content, which is Blackjack content. So if you want, check that out. Link will be down below, whatever, you can check it out. If you're into Blackjack, you want to learn these tips as well, jump on there. I'm here to share. I'm here to be a consultant. I'm here to pretty much advise as best as I can, because I've experienced this journey, and I know there's tons of people that might be making the same mistakes that I used to make when I first started, and I want the best for everyone. Like, I haven't been posting my YouTube content in regards to Blackjack because 3 years ago I had made a video, and I left out a very huge part to that story, but I will get to it. I had made a video 3 years ago about how I had lost $19,000, and it was like a $36,000 swing, and that was one of my biggest losses I've ever took 3 years ago. And with YouTube, you get a lot of criticism. You get a lot of people that probably don't even gamble, they're trolls. They just like to talk shit, and they like to say you're dumb, you're broke, shit like that, things of that nature, to try to discourage people. But in the same token, they don't have the balls to do with what I do. And it's no cocky thing or anything like that. It's just, if you could just sit on a computer and talk shit about people in a situation you probably don't fully understand, or you haven't been in fully yourself, it's not a good thing. It's really not a good thing. So with that being said, I kind of didn't post my career afterwards when it came to Blackjack on YouTube, because I got tons of comments from people that I don't even understand how they wake up and they could just jump on a computer and just talk shit. Like, it's very sad. Like, I wasn't raised that way, but clearly there's something missing in their life. But anyway, back to the topic at hand. How I made $1.2 million playing Blackjack in 4 months. Well, let's start it off like this. After that video I posted, I took a break. I took a break from gambling, because it's like, wow, it did go bad. Then you have tons of people that don't even know you at all, just chiming in saying X, Y, and Z, and how this is dumb, what you did here is stupid. But the thing about it, there were tons of people in the comment sections that could relate. Tons of people that really gambled. Tons of people that said, don't worry about it. I've seen the same thing happen to me or other people. I've seen crazy swings. And those were the people in the comment section that made me want to continue. You know what I mean? I was going to continue regardless, but those were the people that were there that I wasn't expecting, because I'm reading so many negative comments. You would catch the one or two of the people that are like, you know what, keep pushing, keep doing your thing, it happens, I've been through the same type of situation, and blah, blah, blah. So, long story short, I decided not to share what I would be doing in regards to Blackjack at the casino. It was a huge part of my life. I started gambling at 19 when my uncle snuck me into Atlantic City, because I kind of favor him a little, and he had his ID, and he always knew I was good with numbers. So and when I say good with numbers, in high school I could have been the top accountant my freshman year. What else? All the maths in high school. I took AP Cal in high school. I did a lot of things when it came to numbers. I was more into numbers than literature and sciences and stuff like that. But numbers always got to me. I loved it because it was quick, it's simple, straight to the point, things like that. Opposed to with literature, you got to write things, come up with your own, analysis of things and present it and put it together right. Math is totally different, straight to the point. I don't mean to draw this whole video out, but I'm getting to where I'm going. And right now, from that day when I posted that video about that situation when I lost that much money, I was discouraged, didn't want to post any more YouTube stuff about Blackjack. But fast forward to me still playing over the years. 2019, April, what's the date? April 16th, I hit a jackpot at a casino for $253,000 playing blackjack. The side bet was called Blazing Sevens. That's where you get 3 7 of diamonds, which is 2 for you, and the dealer has to have a 7 of diamonds to get the 100% of the jackpot. The jackpot total was 253 and like 754, something like that. It was the craziest day of my life. My life changed. That day started with me gambling, and the cards were coming bad. I left money in the truck. I think I left about 12,000 in the truck, and I went in there with like 7,000, and the first 7,000 was bad. So went back to the truck when I said I didn't want to go back inside there. When I leave, I leave money in the truck for a reason. I went back to the truck, but Sutton told me to turn around. I lie to you not, 30 minutes later, I hit the jackpot for 253,000. After taxes, it was 188. They took out 69,000 immediately. The dealer changed my life so much in an unexpected way. My favorite number is 7. So I tipped the dealer $7,000. The reason I tipped 7 is because I know I've been playing for years, and I've heard stories about these jackpots. A lot of time when people hit these jackpots, they'll tip like $200, $300, $400, and that'd be that. The way the tips work at the casino, everyone on shift for, I believe, 24 hours of when the tips or whatever are collected, they split that up. So if someone gives you $300K and you tip $500, that's practically a slap in the face. And this person changed your life. Not whether or not this person meant to do it intentionally or didn't, they changed your life. And all you could tip is $500, $300, or something like that. When you know that the tips are getting split up between so many people, I think it's crazy. It's fucked up. But anyway, I tipped $7,000. Olivia, we haven't posted in a minute, but she's getting in the truck right now, so she'll be here to chime in and update about what we've been going through. So anyway, I tipped $7,000 for hitting the jackpot. I walked out of there happy. I contacted O didn't believe me. She thought it was a joke. I sent her a picture of the check, and
the check was written wrong. The comma was in the wrong place.
Yeah, the comma was in the wrong place. It looked fugazi, but it was a valid check. Because once it deposited and cleared less than 7 days later, that account was very happy.
Your dad thought it was fake.
Yeah, my dad thought it was fake too. So, hit for 200 and something. After taxes, it was 180 something. Tipped 7,000, so I had about 181. And that's where the fun began. I started going to the casino like fucking crazy. I would go with like $30,000 and play fucking crazy. I would play frivolous because I didn't win the money. I didn't earn it. Like with jackpots and stuff like that, when you win it, it's not like you actually playing the hands and you're winning each hand. It's just money that came out of nowhere. So that's how I was playing with the money. So I would take like 30, 40 with me and try to get 20, 30, 40, match what I brought. That's when I realized that is like the worst concept when it comes to gambling ever. What you bring and trying to leave out with double is like the dumbest thing ever. And then you have people that try to leave out with double what they brought, triple what they brought. Now I'm going to explain why it's the dumbest thing. The reason playing for what you brought, double or triple what you came for, is the dumbest thing ever, is because it means everything underneath that you don't value. So if you bring 10K with you, you try to make 5, 10, 15, 20. That means 3,000 means nothing to you. That means 4,000 means nothing to you. Same thing if you bring 50K with you, you try to go for 25, 50, 75, or 100. That means 10K means nothing to you because that's how you're thinking. And with gambling, I learned there's a lot of mind games and manipulation that go on with gambling. the whole casino is designed a certain way to trap you. From the drinks, from the music, from the lighting, from the cameras, from the chips, the size of the chips. Everything is designed for a reason. And if you don't understand that, you just fall for the traps. So what I mean by that is air conditioning in casinos are colder. It's cold for a reason. The colder you are, the sooner you want to get out. So with that being said, the sooner you would want to get out, you would play bigger. They want you to play bigger. In the same token, alcohol. They give you alcohol because it slows up your judgment. They have girls walk around with these outfits to distract you. They have, what else? No windows because they don't want you to have a idea of time. What else? You can't have your watch or phones because they don't want you keeping track of time. And I learned the reason for that is if you keep track of time, you'll make better decisions. That simple thing with them eliminating clocks helps them make people make more bad decisions. So, exactly, they trap you because you're there long. You know, if you made $2,000 in 10 hours, it's like, wow, I was there for 10 hours. But if you made $2,000 in 4 minutes, it's like, wow. But if you're not paying attention to time, you're not looking at the difference between the two and basing your future decisions off of that because you have no understanding of time. And what I learned is the sooner you make the money should be the sooner you leave. If I made $5,000 in 3 minutes, I'm not going to be the person that be like, let me see what the next 3 minutes does. I'm going to be the person that appreciates the $5,000 in 3 minutes because it came easy, it came lucky. So what I do is I take that every time. If I sit in a casino and the cards are coming amazing at the beginning, I'm going to take all of the fucking cards and I'm going to appreciate it. And then when it starts tanking, I'm going to get out quick. It doesn't matter what it was. If I started playing with 5K and I got to 1,700 in like the first 3 hands, I might only lose $400 after that because the 1,700 came so quick. Why would I want to lose the whole thing and give it back and then go into my money and fight with my money to try to make a profit again? You see what I mean? So if you get the upper hand early, you should always grab it, play with some of it, and keep that same mentality. So like if I won 3,600 in the first 5 minutes because I'm playing a certain size hand, I broke everything down to the size hands you should be playing with, the amount of money you should have and everything. I have a whole like guide on how this thing should be done. So pretty much if I made 3,800 in the first 3 minutes, I'm playing $500 hands. It came easy because the dealer just kept breaking. I might only play with 800 of that and tuck the 3. I do that every time. Now, there are days where you don't win at all. You will not win from the beginning. Like you would lose 8 hands, then you would win 2, then you would lose 6 hands, and that's still sinking you because as you're losing from the beginning, you're fighting to get back to 0 and then make a profit. So if you fight too big while the hands are bad, it's just sinking you down. No matter if you do win a hand, you're still down because this is the even level. As you're going down, no matter what you do, if you start playing bigger hands because you're upset, you lose that, you go down. You keep going down. When you finally win 1, you're like right here. And then you lose 8 more, then you're back down. That's the whole thing with gambling. And what I learned is no matter how much money you have, if you have 10,000, 100,000, a million, always play small at the start because the start dictates which direction you're going to go. If the cards are good, you're going to make a profit early and you see how your day is going to go and you're in control. If the start of the shoe starts off very bad, you already know it's a fight. You already know you can't play too big because if you play too big to try to bounce back, but you lose that hand, it's going to do the total opposite and sink you down even more. So let me get back to how I made 1.2 in 4 months. I hit the 7s. I got the 200 or something. I tipped the dealer, left. Oh, couldn't believe it. The whole 9 yards. They gave a comp room, like suite room, pool, everything, piano, everything inside there. Because their reason is they give you all this stuff for you to want to stay. And then you play it back crazy. So that first night, this was playoffs. because it was April. Yeah, it was playoffs.
We went back.
We went back. I came, got O, and I got Marley. Came back, and I was still high off of winning the money that I stayed downstairs while they were in the room, I guess, resting, sleeping, showering, all that stuff. And I stayed on the floor, and I literally was just there. I was excited. Some dealer heard about what I did earlier and was like, oh, I heard you won, and I heard you tipped $7,000. That was amazing. Oh, my gosh. That helps so many of us. Like, a lot of people don't do stuff like that. And like I said, 7's my number, so that's why I did it. And he did change my life, so that's why I was hoping to, you know, tip something that helped everybody. And like from that point, contacted me and said no one's ever done anything like that and tipped that much. So he kind of like gave me tons of stuff on my card, and he did everything he could. So long story short, we're gonna speed this up. As I won and stuff like that, I was playing. I would take 30 with me, lose. I still had my business expenses because I had my landscaping company, snow removal company. I had my housekeeping company while I was still doing all of this. But I was gambling because the winter of 2018, 19, it didn't snow that much in Jersey. So in order to compensate what I wasn't making with snow, I went to the casino. So that's pretty much where all of this started. I went to the casino to compensate the money because it wasn't snowing that year. Like literally, North Carolina got 11 inches one day, and Jersey was expected to get a foot plus, and we got nothing. So just imagine you have a business, you have commercial insurance, you have employees, you have equipment, you have insurance, you got stuff you still have to pay for. So that's why I went to the casino, and that's how I won the 7s and blah, blah, blah. After that, life got good. The money was great. I still had my expenses, even though I wasn't doing the business. I still had my expenses, and yeah, I wasn't trying to do crazy things with the money. I knew I wanted to gamble with the money to make more money. I didn't want to just go out here and just start buying dumb stuff and things like that, because that's not me. At this point, I had my GTR a year before. So if you guys didn't check out my GTR's Instagram, DickNick_R35. So that's at DICNICK_R35. Check it out. Let me know what you guys think. I put a lot of time into that car, but yeah, that car was before all this winning and stuff like that. So people might get it confused and think I bought it afterwards. No, I had that before all of this stuff. I only wide bodied the car and made it 1,000 horsepower after. No, the 1,000 was before I won the money also. I only wide body after the money to make me still like the car. But anyway, long story short, I did that. That was one of the things I did. What else did I do with the money at the beginning? Went on a cruise. Took 20K on a cruise. It was a 7-day cruise. I had a plan of executing, trying to get 3K per day. I ended up clearing 21,000 after day 4. Like I had, the first day was 3, second day was like 4, third day was like 6. Fourth day was the remainder. So
yeah, we didn't really do nothing.
Yeah, we after winning all of that, didn't make that much money. I mean, didn't do too many crazy things. You know, didn't even want people knowing had the money. So that was the thing. Like I had my businesses, and of course I was getting money from that. So I try to keep it like business. Yeah, keep it like in that realm. Didn't make it seem like I got a huge abundance of money and started acting crazy, because I wanted to keep it low and I didn't want to tell too many people. I told my parents and stuff like that. But in the same token, I didn't want to do nothing crazy, like just disperse money to everybody, and then the problems they, you know, might reach or meet is like people trying to rob them, or people trying to be too flashy with the money and stuff like that. So what I was thinking was, if I use the money to make money and then just pay off my father's house. He bought a house several years ago in South Jersey. I just wanted to pay it off because I know in most families the house is like the biggest bill, and I just wanted to knock it out. But before I wanted to knock it out, I wanted to get to $1 million before I knocked it out. And the crazy thing was, from the 2-something, the idea was never make $1 million. From the 2-something, it was just chill, have fun, because you have the money now. First time in life you have a large amount of money. Like I had money before from snow and stuff, like I would have 50, 60, but I never had over 100. So I finally had that. I was keeping it low, wasn't letting nobody know, and yeah, I was gambling. Some days I lost 30, some days I lost 40. I had regular expenses, just the cost of living. So the money just started going down each month. I would see probably like 20,000. You know, more money, you got more expenses. You're going out to eat more. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. All while trying to keep it low and not let people know that I want anything like that. That's why I wasn't buying like flashy things. I still have my chain that I had from way before when I was a kid. I had lost it at a water park. So then I got a new one made. I could have got a big chain. I could have got tons of things, but I didn't want to do that because that's too flashy and it's drawing too much attention. And I didn't want people knowing that this is what I was doing, especially from the area I'm from. I'm from New Jersey, in Essex County area. If you're familiar with the area, you already know it's not like the nicest area. So I was doing all of this on the low, trying to stack all this money. So I felt like I was living a double life. I felt like I was living a double life, and it was fun because every day it was like no one knew what the hell I was doing, and I had a book bag on. And let me fast forward because it's gonna get to the good part. I had the money all the way up to 100. Once I cracked 100, I got like nervous. I'm like, wow, yo, I don't want to be that person that has all this money and then like it dwindles away and everything. So it just started dwindling, like expenses, gambling, like bad decisions. And like I said, I would go to the casino with 20, 30 grand and try to play for that. When I learned that's the dumbest thing that everyone does. Everyone does it. I even did it. And I'm going to explain what I learned that changed my life. So we went on the cruise. I took 20 with me. I made 21. I think I took 24 with me and I made 21. So at the end of the cruise, I had 45,000. People couldn't believe it. On the boat, they were looking at me like, what the fuck? Because I literally went in there, fucked shit up and left. And they kept, every time I would come down, because I got free drinks because I had the casino like plan. It was like a package for gamblers, whatever, where you get free drinks and stuff by the casino. So I would go down there and just bullshit. That'd be my reason to go get alcohol. Go down there on the boat, see people playing, and pit bosses would be like, oh, you're done? You're not playing no more? Which is the trap of trying to get me back on the tables to try to get the money back. But I'm not stupid. I know how this goes. So I would go down there and be like, no, I'm good. I'm fine. I like this. I took 21,000 from y'all in 4 days when I planned to do it for 7 days. I'm ahead of pace. I'm doing really good, and I'm fine. So they realized like I was smart, and I wasn't dumb, and I wasn't weak, and I wasn't just gonna give it back. I made 21 grand in 4 days.
And even your cruises were free for you.
Yeah, the cruises after that, everything is free because the whole thing is to get you to come back. They want you to fuck up. Once you fuck up, that's when they capitalize. So made that, got off the boat, 45,000, free cruise for the next time, all this other shit. This is like August. So August like 5th or 6th, I went to the casino with the 40-something. This is something else I learned. Never bring everything with you. I'm going to get to that. But never bring everything with you. And I would use big amounts to try to get big amounts. Because obviously, that was the dumb concept I was doing when I first started gambling. Take 500, try to leave with 1,000, 2,000. Go with 1,000, try to leave with 2,000, 4,000, all that shit. It's like dumb. It's dumb, but it's like the only thing we know. Because when you don't have money, you want to make money. But what I learned is, with me having 270K, 200 and something K, and it just dwindled all the way down. After I got off the cruise and I went to the casino with the 45,000, I lost 37K. The cards were bad. I don't do dumb stuff. Like, I'm probably one of the smartest people when it comes to blackjack and breaking the whole thing down. I don't do anything dumb. What I learned is, in this game, and one of my hosts recently told me this like less than 2 months ago, because he's been a host for 14 years. He said that blackjack is the only game where you can do everything right and still lose. With that being said, you can have a 19, dealer could have a 20, pull a 20. You can have a 20, dealer pull a 21. You're not going to hit. You can have a 18, dealer have a 6. You're going to stay. And if a 3's under there and the dealer pulls a 10, you did the right thing. No matter what, you did the right thing. And what I learned is, and this shit was blowing my mind, is that you could really lose a lot of money playing blackjack if the cards don't come out right. You could do everything right. If the cards don't come out right, it will have you fucking looking like, what the fuck Like, you will feel stupid. But that's just how the game is. You could do everything right, split at the right time, stay at the right time, surrender, take an extra hit, do everything right. Remember, you have to make the move before the dealer. Every time a dealer has a 10 showing doesn't mean they have a 20. It could be a 4 under there. You could have a 7 and think it's a 10. You could have a 6, think it's a 10 under there, and they really have a 4. These are all the things that Blackjack does to you, and it fucks up your head. It really will mess up your head. And I know when I'm done my career, I'm gonna have to see a counselor or something, because therapy or some shit. Because when I tell you Blackjack will fuck with you, it will fuck with you. It will fuck with you very bad. I gotta stop cursing, but that's the things it does to me. So anyway, I need to get back to the story. After the cruise, I lost the $37,000. That was the last time I think I cried, and I was like heated, because I was like, I did nothing wrong. How did I lose all of this money? I said I'm never gonna lose again. Not lose like that. I'm gonna change my approach. I'm not gonna want exactly what I brought, this, that, and the third. I said, if I'm gonna do this, I gotta do it right. I had the last $40,000 out of the $180,000 out of the $253,000 pot, and said, if I'm gonna do this, you're gonna do this right. I went to the casino for 70 days straight with a new strategy that I came up with. That's just take small numbers. No matter how much money you got, just take small numbers. I went to the casino for 70 days straight and cleared $1.2 million from August 6th to December 9th. The beginning of December 9th. Because that day is one for the books. That's going to be a whole other story, I'm telling you. Anyway, stay tuned for that. But from August 6th to December 9th, I cleared over $1.2 million without losing. What I did was, in detail, is on OnlyFans. So you gotta go to OnlyFans to go get that details with the actual breakdown of everything I did. So this is just gonna be a summary. What I did from August to December was a lot of repetition. It was the same thing. It was getting out smart. It was, going for a certain number. Like, instead of going in there with 40K, wanting 40, 20, all that, I went in there and I wanted 3. I did that for about 30 days, where I went there and only took 3,000. It could be 3,500, it could be 3,700, it could be 3,900. If it was over that, it was bonus. But my main goal was 3. I had 40K going for 3. It wasn't like before when I had 40K and I was going for 20, 40, 80, whatever. It was 3. And what I got from the number 3 was 3,000's a lot. You do that 3 times a week, that's 9. Instead of trying to force it and trying to sit there and take all this money from a casino, which you have to understand, a casino doesn't have all the money that they actually have chips for. So if you're going to be that person that's going to battle a place that doesn't even really have all of the money that they have chips there for, it's kind of stupid. Because you're hoping to take everything when they don't even have everything, when they're banking on you to make dumb decisions to lose everything. You have to get something before they take something. That's what I learned. You don't gotta walk in with a lot and expect a lot. But if you take every day, it will snowball and it will get bigger and bigger. So what I did, for 30 days, I hit the 3,000 every day, because first day, you hit the 3, now you at 43. You hit the 3, now you at 46. You hit the 3, now you at 49. You hit the 3, now you at 52. You hit the 3, you at 55. You hit the 3, you at 58, and so on and so on. So for 30 days, I did it. I made 90 grand, so it turned my 40 into like 130. And then I asked, I said, what should I do? Should I keep going for this number, or should I increase? Came to the conclusion, increase. We increased it to 5. I did 5 for about 20, I'd say like 20 sessions. About a week. Let's say a week. Let's give it 2 weeks. I'll say 2 weeks. I did 5. And 5 just kept coming because now my pot was 120 something. And the number I went for was slightly higher than the number I started with. So I went for 5. I took 5 like fucking 20 times. And then my pot got bigger. So now I'm at 200 and something. And I said, how about we increase again? What's my favorite number? 7. I went for 7 like 7 times. I'm like, wow, this shit's working. So that's another, let's say 50,000 on top of the 230. So now I'm at 280. And it's like, wow, I made back the money that I won from the jackpot. So it's like, wow, this is crazy. What's next? So after 7, I went to 10. I did 10 about 7 times. And then I realized my pot's getting bigger. The number that I'm going for is slightly going up. So if I keep doing the repetition of getting the small number while my pot gets huge, it should be a breeze. Not going with 20, wanting 10, 20, 40, 80, but going there with 40 and just want 3. You see what I mean? When you gamble and you don't have that much money, you want to make a lot of money. That's how we think when we're just starting to gamble. You walk in there with 200, you want to leave out with 200. You want to leave out with more because that's what goes off in our head, that we want to take as much as we brought or more to feel productive.
And for those who don't go a lot.
Yeah, and like you have weekend gamblers. You have people that just go with a certain amount and just say, fuck it, whatever happens, happen. But if you're actually working, you're actually doing smart shit, you're actually strategic, you could do this for a living. You could really, if you're smart and the cards are flowing, you're actually taking every day and you're actually cutting off. There's so many things you have to do. You have to do about 8 things at one time. You have to do about 8 things at one time. Like if you're down, you can't play big while you're down at the start because it'll keep sinking you if it ever changes. And in the same token, when you do get the goal, you can't play with the whole entire, like if the goal is 1,200 for the day, you're at 2,800. And then you start losing. And then once you get to that amount you were supposed to take for the day, if you keep playing it, you pretty much just said, fuck the money that you already had got. Luckily. And you can't do that. You really have to be disciplined and you have to take every single day. You have to take every single day. And on my OnlyFans, I have everything broken down to what size hands you should be playing at, what levels, surrendering, splits. I have charts on how it's really easy to make all these numbers if you're disciplined and you're focused and you just do what you need to do. So let me tell you, this wasn't an easy process during the 70 days. At the start, like I said, all of those days were small. 3K, you have 40K. With that, you don't walk in a casino and play $3,000 the first hand. You don't do that. You play the same way you would, if you didn't have anything. I was playing $250 hands or $50 hands, so I worked it up there. I didn't walk in there and just say, oh, because I have 40K, let me play 1,000 each hand. Because if you lose the first 18 hands, now you're down 18,000 when you were only supposed to get 3K for the day. You can even break it up in sessions and do 3 sessions a day. Like, there's so many things and combinations of ways you could get the numbers. You just have to execute. You have to believe. And you can't go for huge numbers. So, like I was saying, when I got to 10, I did 10 like 7 times. And I moved up to 12. Did 12 like 4 or 5 times. And then when I got up to 21,000, that's when things changed. I stopped going for the same number over and over and over and started going for a percentage system. Because now I had a pot of close to 300K. And the number was about 18 to 21,000. So I broke it down and said, hey, my favorite number is 7. 7%. So you got 300K, now you go for 21,000. You got 400K, you go for 28,000. You see, everything's percentage. And then that's what I learned. You go for percents instead of numbers, because as your pot increases, the percent that you're going for the next day will increase as well. And the difference is your playing style shouldn't change. The way you bet should change. And on my OnlyFans, I break down how you should bet at each level. Your playing style should always stay the same in what you do, but your betting and the way that you bet should get you to the numbers and the goals that you need to get to. And everything is broken down on OnlyFans and how you do everything. Everything I learned over the 13 years is put and will be put into OnlyFans for the people that are curious and the people that are serious about learning how to play serious. Not the people that, probably think it's BS. You know what I mean? Like, I've made $1 million. I have proof. I have the paper trail. I've seen it. And it's been done. Now it's just time to do it over and over and over for the rest of my life, because I've seen what works. And yeah, it's just execute. It's doing everything that needs to be done to make sure that the numbers are met every day. And back to the story, I got up to, let's say, the day that it was bad during the 70-day run. The highest, I think, there was a day when I met my goal. My goal was like 13,000 for the day. I made 8,000 at high limit, and I went outside, made 5. I lie to you not. I made the 5,000 and I was ready to color in. I wanted to make $100 to tip the dealer. So instead of me take the money out of my pocket, which I had probably $7,000 cash in my pocket, and I could have took out 100 and put it on the table, I played for it. That was the first bad day I encountered throughout the 70 days. The first bad day, because I lost 14 hands straight. The 14 hands straight brought me down 80,000. And it started with me just trying to make $100 for the dealer. It started off like this: $100 lost, $200 I played, lost, $400 I played, I lost, $800 I played, I lost. So I played $1,600, I lost. And you have a lot of money, and you're like, why is this happening? So you keep with that same dumb strategy of bet double, and that is like the worst thing you could do. And I've seen it. It was 14 hands. I was down $80,000 trying to make $100 to tip the dealer. That day was the first bad day I had, because I flipped out. I got up. I turned around. There was an empty table there. I punched the chair, and that's how, like, my knuckles, I really punched the chair, and it was bleeding. So security came. There was like a security lady. She was like a dyke. She jumped over. It's nothing against dykes. She jumped over, like ran over, and was like, oh, what's going on? You can't do this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. And in the casino, now you're bleeding. And I'm like, yo, you don't understand what's going on. I just lost like 80,000 trying to, give the dealer $100. She's like, I don't care about that. So I was like, what? I went crazy. I seen red. She started flipping out. So I said, yo, I don't want to hear shit from you. She then gets on her phone and says, I'm calling such and such. I'm getting you thrown out of here. Mind you, I'm already down 80K. I'm getting you thrown out. Somebody that's not even my host, that's seen me play and knows that I was taking every day, he saw her like getting rowdy with me. He ran over, jumped over. It was like a rope, and said, he's not going nowhere. She said, what do you mean he's not going nowhere? Said, he's not going nowhere. So she was like, yes, I'm getting him kicked out. He's disrespectful, this, that, and the third. Mind you, I wasn't disrespectful. I just was upset because I was down 80K when I was trying to give the dealer the money, and I was frustrated. Anyone would be. So he says he's not going anywhere to Dyke. She jumps on her phone, try to call somebody higher. So you know what he did? He grabbed his phone and called someone even higher, said, this is Donovan such and such. He plays blah, blah, blah. And they told him he ain't going nowhere. They gave me a table in high limit. They cleaned off the table where I was at because it had blood on the table and everything. They put me in high limit. I went in high limit. I made the 80,000 back plus like 15,000. Plus my host had contacted the casino to give me like $1,500 in free play at the slot machine because he heard about the situation and they wanted to give me something because they heard I was down. 30 minutes later, I won everything back, and they had to give me the money that they tried to give me because I was down. So I really made like $26,000 that day. When that day I only was supposed to make like 13K. It was crazy. It was crazy. That was the first day I was down so much. I had a total of 5 days where I was down over 80K. I had a day where I was down 80. I had a day I was down 120 something. I had a day I was down 170. That was probably my most heroic day ever. 170. I had a day I was down 200. A day I was down 300, and a day I was down 320. But the most heroic one ever, which I'll do a story time on all of these if people are interested, was a day that I went to the casino with 170,000, lost it. I had 19,000 in my account, and before I was leaving, I was crying. I was tearing up because nothing came out that day. I went back to my account and took out 9,000 from both my personal and business account, and I went back into high limit and left out that casino with 215,000 in less than an hour and a half. I have tons of stories. Tons of stories. I know how to bet properly. When the cards are coming, I'm unstoppable. When the cards aren't coming, I'm like a deer in headlights. I might get fucking hit because shit be so fucking bad that it's fucking crazy. Like, I've seen losing 18 hands straight. That's a different level problem than somebody that's starting off, because you have to have a bankroll to even see that level of bad. You know, like if you walk in, you're just starting, you bring $400 with you, you're playing $25 hands. You know how many hands you have. You have about 16 hands, give or take, depending on what happens. You might win a few in that. But when you have bankrolls of tens of 20,000s of dollars and you're playing big numbers, and even if you're playing small numbers, you could actually see you could lose 35 hands straight. You will have 20s in there. You will have 21s in push. That's not a win. You could have 20s in push. You could have 19s in push. All of those are not wins. That's how many hands are going by without you even making a profit. Yeah, I've seen it all.
And
But
playing for small amounts with a whole bunch of money, like the $1,200 from my mom. Like,
oh my gosh, when you play, this is another thing. Never go to the casino with people you know. This is probably my biggest tip. I swear to God, I could give everyone all the tips in the world from this shit. When people want you to gamble for them,
Yeah.
prepare to die. When people be like, oh, could you flip this and turn this into this? You have the bankroll, prepare to die. Like, there were times I was down $20,000 when I'm trying to flip a $600. It sounds crazy, right? Like, I would go there with the six and everything, with my money back in it, and nothing will come out. Nothing will come out. You know how it feels after you make all that money back and you pay back that person that money, you like, damn, I just went in 20K to even double the money. It's a bad feeling. Don't go to the casinos with people you know, like friends and stuff, because if you're winning and they're losing and you're that type of friend that's like, yo, I don't want my mans to lose, like, you're going to play or you're going to give them money, and that's only going to bring you down, because remember, the casino's a trap. It's there to take your money. So if you're you're doing your thing, but the other person isn't, and you're aiding that person, they're getting the money out of you that way too, if they're not taking it from you directly at that table or the slot machine or whatever. Oh my gosh. But like I said, from August to December 12th, December 9th, I made over $1.2 million following the strategy. I just wanted to share this with you guys because I seen a comment this morning from someone when I went to YouTube that said, make more Blackjack videos, and I want to share everything with you guys. This is a long ass fucking video. This one's 28, and I got 2 other videos I gotta edit and add to this, so this is gonna be crazy. I got tons of things to share with you guys. If you think I'm capped, I'm gonna show the proof, and I've done this, and I'm gonna do this for as long as I can until it kills me.
No.
Adios. We'll talk. Peace.